Hey guys, it's Khalif from Fat Guy Skinny Wallet, and I'm here to do a video to give you my thoughts on cheat days and cheat meals. There's been a lot of talk about that in the weight loss community. I don't want to just say recently because I'm sure people always talk about that, but been hearing a lot about it. So I just wanted to give you my take on it. Actually, I don't believe in that term. I don't like the term. I don't like the idea of having a cheat meal, a cheat day. I think food is to be used for food, for fuel. Like here, food is used for food. Food is to be used for fuel for your body and also for enjoyment. God made food taste good, most of it. I mean, he did put onions in there too, but you know, most food he made taste good, especially different combinations, and he gave the chefs the ability to combine those things and make some great things out of it, right? So we can enjoy it. So I don't feel that we're cheating when we have something enjoyable. And I think that if we set up a goal, if we set up plans, that we don't need to go off of the goals. We don't need to go off track in order to find enjoyment. We need to have enjoyment all the time. Just learn to enjoy healthy things. So, why am I saying that? Well, let me just give you an example. Well, let me just tell you two reasons why, two concrete reasons. The first reason why I don't like the idea of cheat days and cheat meals, and when people say they do it, I cringe. First is because it shows, or it usually denotes a lack of control. When most people say they're going to have a cheat meal or say Saturday is my cheat day, what they mean is that I'm giving up control for this day or this meal, dinner time on Saturday. I'm giving up control of myself, of my diet, and I'm giving myself over to these gluttonous desires, and it's sinful. I believe it's sinful to give a substance mastery over yourself, over your body, over your thoughts and desires. And it's not just what I believe; it's what the Bible makes clear, that it's sinful to give food or anything else, and we'll just stick with food, to give food mastery where it controls you. And trust me, I know firsthand. If you watch the Renew show, you see the things that I used to do to get pleasure out from food. And it wasn't about an emotional response or anything. It was just I wanted the pleasure that I felt food was providing for me. And I let it control me. I let it control my bank account. I let it control my actions. And I let it control my happiness. So when you talk about a cheat day or cheat meal, again, most people mean that they're giving up the control that they have exhibited throughout the week for that day, and they're just going to throw caution to the wind, and they're going to really enjoy themselves. And again, I'll tell you what I do after I tell you the second thing that I don't like about it, because you'll see why in a minute. The second reason is a little more, I'll say, practical, a little less philosophical. Is that you can destroy whatever progress you've made. Now let's take a typical example. I think someone who burns 2,500 calories a day through their normal daily activities and through exercise. They eat 2,000 calories a day normally. So that means you're burning 500 calories a day excess, and you should be losing about a pound a week if that math holds up. 3,500 calories is a pound, so you'd be losing about a pound a week. So a cheat day, let's say you go 6 days strong, you weigh in on Monday, so Sunday comes, you've already burned 3,000 calories, right? You're almost down a pound. Then that day you do your normal activity, and here's the thing, most people on cheat days, they don't work out. They don't do what they do normally and just say, I'm just going to eat. Their cheat day is, I'm going to be a lazy bum and eat all I want. And I know some people are going to comment and say, that's not me. But you know what? It's a lot of people. It's enough people. I watch a lot of videos on here, and there are enough people who talk about throwing caution to the wind and not even working out on their cheat day. Or even their cheat meal can be a huge thing. So anyway, so you've burned 5,500 calories for the week. Your cheat day comes, right? Time to eat. And so you eat 6,000 calories. Again, if you remember what I said on the Renew show, some days I would eat 20,000 or more calories just in one day. So it's eating 6,000 on a cheat day is nothing. You can go to Cheesecake Factory. You can go, man, there are appetizers at some restaurants that are more than 2,000 calories. Appetizers. Then you have a meal, then you have dessert, then you have a soft drink, and you have a regular drink. And that's just one meal that you've had like 6,000 calories. Your cheat meal. And then let's say the rest of your cheat day, you make things at home that you love. So I'm just giving you 6,000 to be nice. So you have a surplus of 500 calories for the week. That means that you do that 6 more weeks in a row, you'll gain a pound. People have cheat days every week. Some of them. Some people do it just once or twice a month. There is nothing wrong with enjoying food. Remember that. But you don't want to let the food have mastery over you where you don't have control of yourself. You want to always be in control. As a human, as a person, as a man or woman, you want to always be in control of yourself. You want to really make the decision and not have the decision being made for you by some lust or some desire or passion that you cannot control. That's why so many of us are in the problem that we're in. It's because we've gave in so many times. We've completely lost control. I hope we all can admit that, or most of us can anyway. So, what do I do? How do I handle this? Well, honestly, I just don't eat the foods that I used to most of the time. I'm very simple. I don't know. I just don't have a desire for most things. Sometimes I will. Sometimes I'll just wake up and say, man, I could really go for X right now. Well, you know what I'll do? If I decide, and I remember one day, about a week or two ago, I decided I wanted pizza. So what I said was, let me go online and let me find some good calorie estimators and let me be aggressive in my estimation so that I'll probably overestimate how many calories of pizza I'm going to eat. Then let me put that into my Lose It app, my calorie tracker, and let me see what I have left. Let me see how much more protein I need to eat, how much more fat, and how much more fiber. Because those are the three things outside. When I look at calories, I have a certain amount of calories I don't want to go over. Then I look at fat, fiber, and protein, and I have a minimum that I want to hit. So it's, can I eat the pizza, take whatever the nutrients the pizza gives me, and then find a way to make up. Now I won't have to make up any fat because of all the cheese. Even though it's not great to just have one source of a full macronutrient over and over. This would be one day, one meal. One day I wouldn't be too upset if all of my fats for one day came from cheese. And then the other days came from avocados and nuts and other things. So, I'm okay with that. So I'm find a way to get fiber in, find a way to get more protein in. Can I put chicken on the pizza? Can I do, just thinking in my head, what can I do now? Drink a protein shake, and how can I do that and stay under my calories? So pretty much I said, well, what's that meal that I want that I'm going to have that's going to be high in calories? Now let me see how that fits in with the rest of my day and what I can do to still make this a successful day. You can have pizza and still have a successful day eating because you stayed under your calories or at your calories that you wanted to be at. And you ate enough protein, you ate enough fat, you ate enough fiber, you had enough of whatever other minerals or whatever nutrients that you're tracking. Your sodium was in a reasonable level, or it was at least consistent with how you've been eating lately. So hopefully, you can still do that. Now, there have been one or two times where, I set my calories at what I want it to be, at a deficit already. Here's what I burn, here's what I have. So there's still this gap. So if I happen to, just remember this hand's here because it's leaving. If I eat and my calories come up here, and then they still have to come up here in order to hit those other goals, I'll have more calories than I set out to for the day, but I didn't exceed what my body burned. So guess what? I'm still in a caloric deficit and I'm still losing weight, even with a meal that people would consider a cheat meal. Even with going to somewhere and having a burger, which I rarely ever do. But if I was to do that, if tomorrow I want a burger, I'll go eat a burger. And I'll just look at what nutrients I'm getting from the burger and what nutrients I need to still put in my diet for that rest of the day. And what's the most efficient way to do that? Now there, I'm not worried about the taste as much of the other meals. I'm worried about efficiency. I'm worried about getting in all of my other nutrients with the lowest amount of calories possible, because I wanted to spend a large amount of my calorie budget on one meal, on one item. So you see the difference? Now when it comes to the end of the week and I'm ready to have the 1 or even 2 pound loss, or even more depending on other circumstances, there's no problem. There's no shock to my body that says, hey, I'm going to hit you with 10,000 calories real quick. And whatever losses you have racked up that you were about to do a video about and say, hey, I stepped on the scale and I'm 210 pounds and I was 214 last week. And then you eat and drink your way into a 3 or 4 pound gain, even if some of it's temporary. With the calories. Again, you have a day like I had where you have 25,000 calories. And you all of a sudden end up with a gain or a tiny loss when you were elated the day before your cheat day when you got on the scale. So just keep that in mind. Again, you don't want something having control over you. Even when you're enjoying it, even when you're kind of losing yourself in the moment, so to speak, you want to have control and you want it to be planned. If I want tomorrow to eat an entire pizza, I'm going to check my calories first. And you know what? I may have to boost up the exercise. There's nothing wrong with working out in order to increase your deficit so you can close the gap again by eating more. There's nothing wrong with working out in order to be able to eat more. But just, I'll talk about that in another video. But just remember that if you estimate how many calories you should eat based on how active you are, your normal workouts are already in that number. So if you're talking about doing something above and beyond what you normally do. All right, guys. I hope I was able to make sense with that, and I hope I was able to just talk about those 2 reasons why I don't like having times where I'm out of control. I don't even want to call it cheating, because that doesn't make sense to me. That word doesn't even belong in eating. It doesn't belong with eating or food at all. It's saying you're cheating. That doesn't make any sense. So I never call it that. I don't refer to it as that. I will just have a high calorie meal and still try to work my nutrients in through other low calorie means. Alright, guys, I hope again that was helpful in some way, and that you understand a little bit more why when you look through my pictures you really don't see those types of food, and why you never hear me talk about a cheat day or cheat meal. It's that simple. And maybe I'll talk about in another video what I do if I was to ever go to somewhere like Cheesecake Factory, where you're going to eat over what you burn no matter what you do, unless you're running a marathon that day. So maybe I'll do another video if you guys want to see something like that, if you plan on doing that. So just let me know in the comments, and let me know what you guys do. Let me know what your take is on the idea of cheat days, cheat meals, and if it's something that's too long for the little 500 characters that YouTube gives you, do a video response and tell me what you do. Alright, guys, till the next time,